everyone, this is Riordan Rambles, yay! As you can see, we're in a new location. I have a new chair. I got a Rambles chair. That is great, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just gonna go I'm not even gonna go into little introductions. Let's just dive right into it. Stephen Moffat. Why do people not like Stephen Moffat anymore? Okay, so I am a Doctor Who fan. I will caveat this, I am new Doctor Who, as in 2005 revival Doctor Who. That's where I started. I've always known about Doctor Who. I've always had I've known bits and pieces here and there, but Doctor Who 2005, that's when I really started with the Ninth Doctor, like a lot of people. So I'm just talking as pretty much a new fan in terms of timeline is, you know, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, all that. But so what we've got to talk about here is why do people not like him anymore? And for a guy who's been there since the show began again, it's kind of interesting to me, because it's like I woke up one day and everyone just hated the guy. Everyone just hated the new showrunner. I remember when, back in the day, you were really excited for a Stephen Moffat episode. You'd be so happy when he'd come to do a one-shot and that would be it. He'd do one, maybe two episodes a season. Someone will probably correct me on this, but yeah, and people loved them. People loved these episodes, and when he was announced that he was going to be running the show after Russell T Davies left, I was excited. I mean, he was the best writer on that show. He was the best writer for that run. So, but suddenly it just all changed. Everyone just didn't like him as much, and that's weird to me. It's interesting to me how this perception has changed so much. So we're just gonna talk about that. Why has it changed? Well, I think fatigue is one. I remember when by the end of Russell T Davies, I think everyone, including me, was pretty much sick of him. I was quite sick of the Russell T Davies stuff. I mean, have you guys seen some of his old episodes? They're flawed, to say the least. They are flawed as all hell. I could get into that, but I'm not going to. And where am I going with this? What I'm going with this is, I think that Moffat has been the showrunner for quite a while now. He's on his second Doctor, and it seems that in this modern era Doctor Who, when you get on your second Doctor, that's when people start to see the seams. We start to see those little things that they just keep on popping up, and I think that's a real big thing for Moffat, because I think by now we can really see a Moffat style. There is at least his style of writing, really twisty, really, oh, you think this is this, no, it's actually this, and we're all like, boom, mind blown, Moffat's done it again, which is great for a few episodes. Maybe. I feel like my biggest problem, and I will say this as someone who I'm on time. I'm up to date when it comes to Doctor Who. I've been watching 12th Doctor. I've been watching Capaldi, and I'll give you my quick thoughts on that. I didn't like the first episode for that real reason. I feel like I wanna just grab Moffat by his shirt and just say, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to do with this episode? No, I don't care if I don't want you to try and mind fuck me. Just tell me what you want. What is this episode about? Tell me what this episode is about, and then I will be, okay, fine. That's what the episode is about. I will watch what you're saying about this episode. And I feel like the episodes that he has done this, so far at least, have been the best ones. I mean, Into the Dalek, for me, is a great episode. Probably my favourite so far. Next to the other episode afterwards, Robot Sherwood, which was a great episode as well. Because I think that Moffat is really, really good at doing one thing. Just one. He will focus on this one thing and everything will be happy. You'll get a nice, fun episode and you'll like it. But when he gets twisty, it just gets annoying. It's like he's so impressed with himself, so impressed that he can connect the dots to all this kind of stuff that makes it quality writing. Not really. I feel like the guy he's trying to show how smart his writing is rather than actually writing a good episode, which is a problem. I found that with the last season of 11, where we find out some stuff about that space church, the silence. That I don't even remember. It was just so convoluted, and yeah, it was just so convoluted that I by the end when they kind of explained, I just went, oh, meh. That was it, because I didn't care. I didn't care at all by this point. You had 2 seasons to just show this, and now you're suddenly expecting me to remember all the way the episodes. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's kind of made for a rewatch kind of thing. Once you watch it a second time, you get it, but whether that counts as is that a good, rewatch value? I don't know. It just, all I can tell you that is it annoyed me. It still annoys me, and it grates. And what's worse is that once you kind of see that pattern come up again and again and again and again, it gets boring. And I find that's probably my major problem with Moffat right now. I think we need to talk about the fact that never mind about that. I think we need to talk about a fact that is really important, and that's the nature of where Moffat comes from when it comes to Doctor Who. Moffat is a fan of Doctor Who. Doctor Who is so old right now. It's over 50 years old. So it's in an interesting little perspective. It's in an interesting kind of it's had an interesting life cycle where we've gotten to that point where you could say 50% as a generous estimate. About 50% of the people working on Doctor Who are fans of Doctor Who, or at least are knowledgeable enough in Doctor Who. And that leads to an interesting dichotomy, especially when the showrunner, the guy running the whole thing, is an old school fan. And we've been seeing that with Capaldi, with number 12. We've been seeing like he's a bit more ruthless, he's a bit more dickish, I guess. He's a hero, but he isn't a very nice guy. At least not in the same way you could say that 10 was a nice guy, even though he was a bit of a hypocrite, and 11 was a nice guy. You could see that. And that comes from a real old school perspective, which maybe that's a part of the problem. Maybe this is me completely spitballing here, but when you have that kind of old school values seeping into this new Doctor Who, it leads to an interesting kind of... It leads to some... You start to see the cracks a little bit in that perspective. Russell T Davies's run on Doctor Who was super modern when you think about it. It was really about what's happening right now at that second. You didn't really... I mean, sure, you went to the past, you went to the future, blah, 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 blah. But you, with that focus on Rose's family, the kind of relationships it comes on, especially with Ten, with, you know, he constantly referencing, like, pop culture and whatnot, and his really modern kind of sleek look with those bloody Converses. Those Converses, oh man. Those Converses just crack me up all the time, every time I see them. But yeah, Russell T Davies is really kind of rooted in the now, whereas Moffat pretty much went old school. You know, with 11 we had him, this old man in a young man's body kind of thing, where it's like this constant juxtaposition, just at war. And then we have Moffat basically go, you know what, screw it, old man again, just old man with Capaldi. I feel like maybe we're just not used to that. I mean, we've been used to, this is how, I mean, that's the nature of Doctor Who. Doctor Who changes constantly here and there. That's because just, you know, regenerations, recycle, blah, 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 blah. I don't need to tell you, I don't need to school you on Doctor Who, I think. But I feel that maybe that might be the problem. We can go into the whole... Oh, this is going to be tough. We could go into the whole unfortunate implications kind of thing that's been coming out with Moffat stuff. I mean, the Doctor Who's weird thing with women right now in Moffat's run has been well documented, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't thought about it enough to really have a solid opinion on it. But yeah, it's kind of icky here and there. You like, it's something, I think it's like, it's under the surface, but it's just, you can see it just enough that it kind of makes you go, huh, that's a little, huh. And it's kind of just like, I feel like that may be a little tinge onto why people are not really liking Moffat anymore. I think another thing, and I think this shouldn't be understated, is that not only is Moffat a fan, Moffat knows fans. He knows how fans think. I think he's a real interesting kind of showrunner for the internet age. I mean, if you guys watch Sherlock, I don't watch Sherlock. I'm just going to say that now. I don't watch Sherlock. I'm guessing there's probably going to be a few comments saying I should watch it or I should not watch it because it's the worst thing ever. But I think that what I've heard about Sherlock is that Moffat knows the fans. They know he keeps his ears to the ground and listens to what they're saying, and he likes screwing with us. He likes messing about, thinking you put this in, oh, I'll just take this fan theory and then I'll completely destroy it because this is actually how it is. I think that might have a little bit to do with it. I wouldn't say he isn't fan friendly. He likes to troll the fans a lot, and maybe that's partly annoying. Maybe. I don't know. I feel, having watched the show from when it started to where it is now, that I kind of have I like to think I have a slightly, I a slightly bigger picture of it, I remember what it was like back in the day. I was one of those guys who was just raging against Russell T Davies probably after Journey's End. Yeah. Oh yeah, Journey's End, when they mind wiped Donna, which I'm totally not bitter about. I'm so not bitter. Nope. But yeah, and then with the end of time. Oh, the end of time, the end of time, the end of time. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about it right now. Just boy, oh boy. Yeah. With this kind of perspective, I see where this goes, and I honestly think that maybe we've just had enough. Maybe, just maybe Moffat was better in small doses, where he had someone on his leash. Maybe we've just seen too much of his kind of style. Maybe it could be a lot of things, and I don't know. I don't know what I can really say. Like I said, I don't know if you know properly why you don't like Moffat right now, or you think the show's gone to the crapper. Please, comment, please. I'm begging you, because I'm actually kind of interested myself. But yeah, what is the deal with Moffat? What is his deal? I think we're only gonna, like Russell T Davies, we're only gonna find out properly when he's done. I think that's it. All we can do. All we can do is just wait and see. And that's it. If we wait and see, then we can understand. And we can kind of see what worked for him and what didn't. But Doctor Who is gonna survive without him. Come on. Doctor Who is popular in America. That means it's set for life, pretty much. If it's popular in America and popular here, we're gonna be watching Doctor Who until like they have to restart the regenerations again, which they probably will. But what is this deal? I don't know. I've just been rambling. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what his problem is. I know what I like. I've liked a lot of episodes that have been written by Stephen Moffat. Did I? I think I liked most of 11. I think. I hope, because, Matt Smith was good. But what are we gonna do, huh? What are we gonna do? What is his deal? I don't know. You guys tell me. See you later.